Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Monroe College's Mustang Rally. The voice of Monroe College Athletics, Kevin Walsh, back here with Mike Balestra. As always, we are ready for a good show. There is some buzz going around the campus right now. If you haven't checked out on the website, there has been some breaking news. A former Monroe College track and field star has just become the first former athlete here to sign a professional contract with an NFL franchise. His name is Tautvydas Kieras, and he has signed on with the Kansas City Chiefs. And Tautvydas is on the line with us now. Tautvydas, how are you feeling? How are you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. I only hope to be doing half as well as you. I want to ask you though, when you look back on your time here at Monroe, where a lot of stuff I'm sure started for you, how do you view your time here at Monroe, and how did it help you prepare yourself for the next level?
Well, first of all, the experience was just to come to, a completely different country and not really knowing the language. It was just different. The experience got me to, grow up so much faster. And then, training discus there, it was hard. Because, you change coaches and you change places and, stuff happens, life happens. But thinking back, kind of going to nationals and winning those titles for Monroe on my last throws, that just helped me a lot, to have the mindset to do whatever it takes to take what you want.
TK, this is Mike. I'm the SID at Monroe, and I was talking with your old coach, Mark Goodman, earlier, and he said one of the things that made you such a good thrower wasn't just sort of your upper body strength, but it was your whole body strength. Just sort of talk about your workout and how you keep in good shape. And a lot of people would think with the discus that it's all about sort of arm strength, but sort of talk about that if you can.
Yeah, most of the people usually tend to think that it's all like upper body strength, which is completely false, because it's all hip mobility. Your legs don't just have to be really strong; they have to be explosive. Mm-hmm. So if you don't have this, no matter how strong you are in your upper body, or if you can bench 1,000 pounds, there's no way you're gonna throw far anything. So, and that I think discus throwers, shot putters, javelin throwers, in general, all the throwers in track and field are really, really athletic, and they come out to be really athletes, because different sports, you're a basketball player, you're a tennis player,
sure,
football, but I think track and field throwers are really all-around athletes.
That makes sense.
Because you have to be, explosive, you have to jump far, you have to run quick, you have to be big and strong and flexible. So that's everything that you're looking at.
I think I think your story is really amazing. A lot of our listeners, they don't know it. You're someone who grew up in Lithuania. Like you said, you came to the States, came to Monroe. You had to grow up quickly. From there, you went on to Mississippi State. Just sort of talk about that journey. What made you want to come to the U.S. and to take it to the next step? How did the NFL even get on your radar?
Oh, this is a crazy story. I still can't believe it myself. But we started in Lithuania. Obviously, I was in track and field. I was throwing discus, and I was on and off with it. To be honest, I didn't really enjoy myself. I was having a rough time, and then I kind of stayed by myself, trained by myself after, I left my coach there. And then I came out one year and did really good. I think I was like 19, threw pretty far in Lithuanian nationals. And then one of the guys, agent from Latvia, our neighbor country,
sure,
he contacted me. He's like, I do this for a living, and you have a shot to get a good scholarship from the United States. If you want to try, let's do this. So I went with it because one of my buddies already did this. He went to Manhattan College before me. And so this happened, and it happened really quick. I was really late with my admission, so all the good universities and big schools, were out of money already.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to him, if I don't get full scholarship, I'm not going anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Money was an issue.
Sure.
So Monroe stepped up, and they gave me a scholarship, and I decided to go with them. They told me you can, be in JUCO. In 2 years, you'll transfer to anywhere you want if you're doing really good. So that's what I did. And then in Mississippi State, also, adapting period. It was rough first year, my junior year, and then, it's completely different from New York, right?
My mother's from Mississippi. I totally relate. I grew up in the Bronx. My mother's from Canton, Mississippi, so I totally get it. Starkville is the country.
So, you have to live it to understand me, right? But my senior year, it was just amazing. The experience, my coaches, we just had fun the whole year. I broke records, did good. And I was, always concerned what I'm going to do. And then I knew I can get a, international form to stay for an extra year in the States and maybe try to work here. And then I decided, do I want to, maybe stay here, go home, or go to another European country? I was looking for a job while I was in my last semester. Mm-hmm. And I had offers from New York Life Insurance, in Mississippi and Vegas. Mm-hmm. So I was concerning that, but then I met one of my old professors from Mississippi State, Gary Templeton, mm-hmm. and he was really aggressive to pushing me towards football. He said, he didn't know I was fast with all my strength and my height and weight, and he timed me because I told him, I'm like, listen, this is crazy, I've never played football. And I'm being realistic. I'm like, what kind of chance do I have? And he was just, if you try, you don't know what is going to happen. So, and once he started comparing me to all these, great athletes that never played football before, made it to the league, had, amazing careers, I thought to myself, okay, well, if I want to make it big, maybe this is my chance,
Yeah. Did he mention Christian Okoye? Do you remember Christian Okoye?
Yeah.
From Nigeria, he played soccer and then came to the U.S. I think he played a year of football and ended up playing for those same Chiefs, interestingly enough.
Yeah. I just watched actually a movie about him, yeah.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Continue with your story. I apologize.
Oh, it's fine. So, that's what happened. We just started, he started timing me. He was blown away, and he said, you got to really pursue this. So we just went with it. He helped me a lot. He was amazing, actually. And we found this place in Athletic Games in Las Vegas, and he called him up, gave him my numbers, and they're like, okay, well, but he never played football. We got to see him do some drills. Mm-hmm. So I did extra videos for them, and then my agent, Mark Hennis, he just called me up, and we decided to work together.
That's crazy.
It's ridiculous. And when this happened, I couldn't believe it. I kept calling him. I was like, okay, should I really do this? And he's like, just, calm down. You're going to do great. And he was just amazing to me from, the beginning until now. He helped me so much, it was just crazy.
Yeah, that's great.
I think that's amazing. Now, I'm curious, when you first came here, did you find yourself watching American football more when you were at Monroe or Mississippi State? Did you ever talk to the guys on the football teams there and, just happen to familiarize yourself with the sport a bit more?
Yeah, what do you know
even
about
before
the game?
You knew?
Yeah. Actually, it was Mississippi State when I was really, exposed to football. In Monroe, wasn't really, I don't know, I didn't really pay much attention to it. But when I came to Mississippi State, they have a really good team, crazy fans.
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it's a really big deal, and, that's all they got, right?
Yeah. And
so, Dak Prescott, the quarterback from Mississippi State, he was the first one to, we met, and he said, hey, you got to join our team, and I was just laughing about it, I was like, yeah, sure. And then, but the years went by, and I would go to the games and got familiar with the game itself, and I fell in love with it, and then, more and more players approached me, and I was really considering to joining the team. But then I just decided to stick with what I have. Didn't want to lose no scholarships or anything like that.
Sure.
Didn't know really how the system works, so I just stayed and better be safe than sorry. That's how I felt at that time.
Makes it sensible.
Now, you mentioned some of the guys spoke to you. Dak Prescott, who's also now was going through his pro day and stuff like that, getting ready for the combine. Yeah. What type of advice did they give you? Obviously, they were trying to recruit you to get on the team, and clearly with good reason. But before your pro day, what were the guys trying to tell you to get yourself ready, to give you some advice?
Well, actually, Dak Prescott contacted me when he found out that I was training for the pro day, and I mean, we didn't really much talk about how to prepare, but he just gave me some motivation. It's a game about how much you put in. That's how much you take out of it, right? Sure. So, and I knew this already, but coming from players like Dak, I mean, it just means a lot. So sometimes you train so hard, you get these feelings like, oh, what am I doing? I'm so frustrated. Your body feels tired, your brain gets tired, and you get support from athletes like that, and then you just jump up and ready to go again.
And you mentioned though the drills that you had to do for these guys, and this was all pretty different for you. Obviously, this was not your area of expertise. What were some of the drills that you had to do, and how did you perform? How did it feel doing those?
Well, when I came to Vegas, I started training for those, and obviously at first, my body was just shocked because I was never doing anything like it. But I did it once, twice, and I feel comfortable with it because of my discus past, I guess, because my hip mobility and my legs, I'm really stable with my weight, and I can move with it. And then once they saw it, they're like, okay, one of my coaches, Travell Gaines, he was realistic about everything. And once he first saw me, he said, okay, we got a lot of work to do. He wasn't really like giving me any boosts or anything like that. But then 2 weeks in, he was like, okay, I think some of the teams are really going to try to give you a shot, because the way you progress here, they're going to see what you do and how you progress and what a quick brain you have, for the sport. This is like crucial. So, and that's what we did. And for the pro day, I think I did, good, but I think I could have done way better.
I think it's funny you say that, TK. Just as an FYI for you, there was an article on you on the front page of the Westchester Journal News here in New York, which is a big paper. It has a circulation of about 180,000. So it's a really big deal, and it's well deserved. But where I was going to go with that is the woman who wrote the article. She put some of your numbers in there, and they're mind-boggling to me. I mean, you're what, about 6'3", 270, and I think you ran a 4.6 40. What was your bench press? You put up 225 25 times.
24.
24. Excuse me. That stuff's just off the charts. And talk about specifically training. When you knew you were gonna try out for the pro day, is the same way you worked out for that? Is the way you worked out for that the same way you work out as a discus athlete, or did you sort of contour it to directly for the pro day?
It was kind of both.
Okay.
They didn't want me to lose what I have, but also wanted me to be, more fluid, look good with my, drills, and then get more powerful, but also stay lean, not to put no extra weight. But yeah, talking about the numbers, I was actually, to be brutally honest, I was really disappointed in myself after the pro day. But then, a lot of people were, calming me down, so I just stopped worrying about it. Just,
were you nervous?
I wasn't, actually. I just had some, issues. I was training so hard. I guess I should have stopped a little bit earlier before the pro day.
Understood.
So, I wasn't just completely, top of my shape.
I understand.
And now, obviously, you've signed the contract with the Chiefs. Has any of the coaching staff or players on the team reached out to you yet? Have you heard from anyone, or maybe even have the fans started contacting you?
Yeah, I mean, the team, we're supposed to talk tomorrow about my plans, what's going to happen in the next few weeks. So I don't know much about it yet.
You can start house shopping in Kansas City.
Yeah, and then fans, I mean, to be honest, yeah, I got a lot of support from fans, and I'm just really amazed by that.
I think that's wonderful. One of the things, though, that I'm sure a lot of people are going to wonder, and I'm sure yourself you're wondering, the biggest obstacle moving forward, because obviously, and I know you said you weren't impressed with your numbers, but your numbers show you are a terrific athlete. And your coaches here at Monroe speak so highly of you that you have a great work ethic and that you're always competing, but it is different. It's completely different sport, not only physically, but also the mental aspect, going over schemes and things like that. What do you think your biggest obstacle will be moving forward?
I think the biggest obstacle is going to be to actually get myself to the level where all these professional NFL players are of feeling the game. Mm-hmm. I know what's going on the field, but I've never actually played the game. And that's going to be, I think this is the time for me to have the biggest step up,
Sure.
I think, I'm ready athletically. I'm ready to go out there and, show what I can do. But also I got to know what am I doing,
Yeah.
So, and, I'm also ready for that. I work with a lot of coaches, and we work every day. We go through game schemes. We go through game plays. I play all the offense, defense. We have guys who help me out a lot,
Great.
Actual fighting on the field and everything like that. So every day, like, my coach said, all you can do is every day, step at a time. So you can only start at the beginning, right?
Yeah. No, that's very, I like your clarity of thought. I think you're very grounded for someone who's sort of about to take a big step. Hey, I just wanted to ask also, how do people back in Lithuania, are you in contact with people there? Do they kind of understand the gravity of this all or not?
Well, I'm sure, I can't really speak for them, but I'm sure.
I mean, is the NFL popular over there at all?
Football is not really popular. I mean, basketball is everything in Lithuania.
Sure.
But there are groups in Lithuania, like Facebook groups and the people that are actually really, really into NFL. That's whatever's happening. I was amazed. I got added to that group and I read what people wrote. They're so into it. They know everything that's going on. They talk about it. And, of course, they were blown away, what happened. I mean, it's a big deal. First Lithuania never made it to the league. I mean, so they were really happy. And, of course, you get people who don't really know how big this is maybe, and they're just like, whatever. But I think for the, nationwide, I think people are really loving this just because it's a Lithuanian.
Now, TK, I want to ask you, I was reading up on you. It seems like the Chiefs are going to be looking at you maybe to try at linebacker, but obviously it's going to be some unknown territory, and you could be doing offense, defense. We know the arm strength is there. Any chance we're getting in at quarterback? I mean, what are you thinking?
Trick play?
I'm ready for anything, to be honest. So whatever they're going to put me in, obviously I'm going to try to do my best, but to be honest, I feel the best being on defense.
I think that's wonderful. We thank you so much for your time. Tautvydas Kieras, the newest member of the Kansas City Chiefs. We wish you the absolute best of luck, and we'll be following you closely
here. We're all pulling for you here in New Rochelle. We really are.
Thank you so much. Yeah. It was really nice talking to you.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you very much.